Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Those people, guests, I would like to welcome you to our training today. In fact, thank you all for joining us today at topic for fortune is in the follow-up. So those who doesn't know me, yeah, I think probably I'm always hidden at the back. Those who doesn't know me or see me in the first time, I'm Lily. I'm the team leader for Market Center 3 and has been in the industry for, I think, 13 years, yeah, coming to 14 in 2 months' time. So that is a journey that I've journeyed with Redfield Keller Williams. So this Monday, you all heard about, I think some of you have actually been into the session that this Monday you have amazing way of generating leads, correct? So I believe that you have learned so much of things from that Monday, but leads is always leads, just names and contact. Good morning, Alia. So leads is just leads, just names and contacts. It doesn't matter how you acquire the leads, so what matters is how you deal with the lead and turn into business. So no appointments, no closing. So I believe you all can hear me. If you cannot hear me, just probably shout out to the chat group. Probably the regional will kind of like tell me, thank you. So today we have honor to have 3 really wonderful panelists and who is willing to share their experiences in the context of follow-up, lead follow-up, in fact. Maybe, so can I welcome Shannon, Agnes, Rueben? Yes.
Ruben. Hi, good morning, Lily.
Morning. Welcome, all of you. And thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your, spending your time. I know you're all very busy every day, and even though in CMCO. So thank you for joining me today. And I would like you to introduce yourself to all this, to the guests and all our fellow colleagues here. Maybe I go with Shannon first.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I joined real estate since last year, January, and until now is 1 year plus 10 months experience.
Wow, fantastic. 1 year and 10 months. Great. Agnes?
Okay, my name is Agnes. I joined in 2010, so in October. So this year I'll be 10 years in this industry.
10 years.
Great,
yes. Fantastic. Rueben?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I've been in real estate since early March, so it's around 8 months.
Wow, fantastic. Eight months in the industry. And how long you have been with us? 3 months?
3 months with Redfield.
Great, fantastic. So I believe that a lot of people this year, they're talking about slowdown, and many people outside there, the news are not getting so good. Pandemic, there's a slowdown, not many how do I say, not many transactions and everything, but I don't see a slowdown in your sales. In fact, this year I was actually looking at the records, and really I need to know, what do you have a magic pills in doing this transaction? Because the first question I would like to ask, in terms of follow-up, what do you do differently? And that did you make any adjustment to your business last year compared to this year? And what is really working well for you, for Agnes and probably Shannon, because you have been in the industry for more than a year plus. Definitely for Agnes, I think you have been in the cycle of ups and downs, but in pandemic COVID, a lot of things we cannot avoid, right? So what do you do differently in terms of last year and this year? Probably I start with Agnes first, compared to previous years. What is working well for you this year?
Okay, this year definitely everybody realized that this year is really a challenging year. Nothing come easy, but then business have to go on, yeah. So during this pandemic, my approach is the safety and the security of my client is my top priority. So I have to be extra careful, and when I do my follow up with my clients. So that is why when I call my client for this year, I have to make some adjustment in terms of calling as compared to last year. So when I do the calling, so normally I have to normally ask them how are they coping with the pandemic year, and normally I wish them safe and healthy, everybody in the family. Then after that, then I slowly move my conversation to my subject matter. This is the real estate business. So I tell them that my real estate business is still running as usual, and the show house is open as usual, but of course with a very strict SOP, and appointment viewing is strictly on appointment basis only. This is to show them that viewing is still allowable and safe to come. Then I slowly, casually invite them to the show house. And if they still they said I'm scared, I scared of my safety because of the COVID, then I normally send them a video.
Great.
So, yeah, I send them a video.
Fantastic, Agnes. So you're doing mostly projects, correct? You're doing mostly projects, right?
Yes, mostly project. Even for subsale, I do the same approach. I also send them a video if they unable to come.
Great, great, great. From your record, from the record, I see that you've closed more than 16 transactions in this year, and it's going very strong. And as you said, that caring is very important in your conversation, right? Because they don't matter until you matter, correct?
Yes.
So yes, fantastic. What about Shannon? What about you? What do you do differently in that last year that you do fantastically good this year? As before you start, probably a little bit history about Shannon. Shannon actually break the rookie record this year and also Kappa record this year. So fantastic, congratulations to you, and really, really good result this year, where everybody is saying a slowdown. So let's hear from you. What do you do differently from last year to this year?
That is the difference, because this year we are facing the COVID-19 cases. But at the same time, I think there is a good time we have a build up relationship with the prospect. We have the same topic to talk about the COVID-19 sometimes. Like in terms of follow-up, I work more on caring side, like ask the question, how is their family? How is their work? How is their business? And how does COVID-19 affect their life, and how they feel about that? So in this way, we can build up the relationship with the prospect. So later on, we can do the business.
Great, great. It looks like my internet connection is unstable. So, okay, if just in case I kind of snap off, so continue talking. So anyway, so I hear that both of you from last year to this year, you're all talking about, you are actually, not to say, so bad of me to say glad lah, but there's a common topic to talk about, and basically caring is your first thing that in your mind to care for them first. Okay, so your conversation is more about like probably in the fourth kind of conversation, correct? Family, about their family, about the occupation, about what they're doing, right? So recreational dreams, which is actually more towards the business, correct? Okay, great, great. So Rueben, I know that you have not joined last year, so I would not ask you this question. I would kind of turn you into a different question. So the question is that what is some of the habits that in your follow-up that you're working well since you joined us and successfully closing? You have closed about 3 deals since you joined us, that means consistently, every deals and it's a sales deals as well. Share your thoughts. What do you do differently?
First of all, like when I joined real estate, lockdown came in. So I took it as a good time where I called all my friends, family, I tell them what I was doing. It was a great time because when you called that time, everybody was happy to pick up the phone. Everybody is at home. So at that time, actually, I create a genuine connection. I asked them, what are you doing? How are things in your area? How is your business? How is your career and stuff? It's a real genuine connection. And after that, when you ask the question, that's the same thing to you. How about you? What are you doing? That's where I share about my thing, what I've been doing, how are things within me. So during lockdown, I did a lot of calls, like 30 to 40 calls a day. I make sure I do that. But when it been a habit for me to make the calls. So, but now I'm currently doing somewhere around 5 to 10 calls, or it can be calls, it can be a WhatsApp chat, it can be a Facebook Messenger, it can be anything, but I make sure I keep in touch with anybody, but make sure it's a genuine connection, not only for business, because I think people can sense, like suddenly a friend of you call you, even you can sense like, what is that guy's trying to sell me? So make sure it's genuine. This is what I learned from my leader, Elaine. And when you create a genuine connection, also like create an opportunity. You must create the opportunity by yourself. People won't be looking to you, asking to buy a house or stuff. You have to start the conversation, spike the idea, why is a good time to get a house, and things like that. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fantastic. I can hear that genuine is the first part in your question, in the conversation that you actually put forward to. Genuine and in caring, not something that you just put forward to ask them, and then at the end of the day, you are like pushing them into sales. That's good. It means all three of you are looking into just kind of like striking a conversation so that you care for them, understand them, then only the sales comes in. So you are putting in trust, and they will automatically comes to you, correct? So I forgot actually to say that about Shannon. Shannon actually closed more than 20 over transaction this year, and if it's not a COVID, I think it will be more than that. So I believe that I forgot about that. So just to share everyone's success here, that here they actually kind of like did their part into following up. Yes, in a way. Thanks, Jonathan, for writing that down. So you all have this kind of like question, I believe that will kind of like keep them in place, correct? So my basically next question is that when you get a lead, right? For example, I believe that you do a lot of lead generation. I believe that, right? Lead generation is our business actually, is how do I say, there are two jobs in real estate. One is real estate job and one is lead generation job, correct? So lead generation is the heartbeat. So when upon getting leads, right, do you actually just follow up with them just like that, or do you actually kind of like do some qualifying round or consultation before you actually decide, okay, I want to follow up this lead, and then that kind of thing? Probably I would start, since Rueben has already said something. Probably Rueben, would you like to share?
Okay, I think compared to some other some other agents who've been long in the industry, I'm pretty new. So when leads comes in, actually at this stage, I don't qualify. I take whatever come in my bucket, whatever comes in, I take. I'm not being selective. And however, I'll try to do such judgment thing. Whether is it like worth travel? I make sure it's within my GTA. First thing, I make sure it's within my GTA. Second is I make sure how serious the owner, because some owners like they can wait. They will say this is the price I want and I can wait. So I think it's a waste of time for me to, when there is a wall, for me to go and bang the wall again and again and again. So I take everything, but I will try to use or exercise some level of judgment to avoid wasting my time at this doing this marketing or advertising for them. Yeah.
Right. Where's your GTA? Where's your geographical target market?
Okay, my GTA is currently in Setia Alam. So
Okay.
I was doing the price range to 300 to 400,000, and yeah, I'm currently moving to a bigger ticket size. Yeah.
Great, great. Those who's not doing Setia Alam, please, you know, Ruben is concentrating there. Pass over to him, so he'll do a fantastic job for you. Great, good, good. So you actually do not really niche them and qualify them in such a way that qualified means that you kind of like move them into why they actually want to buy, correct? That's called you did qualified, right? There's more towards that, but you do not qualify them in such a way that or types of property, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great, great. So in types of property, you will wall up everything, correct? It's just that
Correct.
probably you will qualify on the more on towards why they want to buy, how soon they want to buy. These are the qualifying questions that you are practicing, correct?
Correct.
Great. What about maybe Shannon? Can I come to you?
Okay, I'll qualify the prospect. And I learned the 3 questions from the Jonathan Lee. What property are they looking for? Then why they buy that property? Then how fast they want to get the property. So after qualifying these questions, so I have in mind how soon they want the property. Then because some prospect, they are not so fast, then we may put aside first. Because they are not urgent, we are also not urgent. Yeah. Then so by qualified, then we can follow us more closely for those who are urgent and yeah, they need the property fast.
Oh, okay. I hear 2 names here, Elaine Kao and Jonathan Lee. Okay, great. These are mentors. So whoever who doesn't know how, just go to these 2 people. Great. What about Agnes? What do you actually do when the leads comes in? What do you do?
I think it's almost the same. Whatever leads that come to me, I will call them. All of them I will call, and of course I do the to pre-qualify them. Then only I put them into my follow-up schedule because normally the first leads that normally we get, I think many of them are like they put the wrong number.
Mhm.
You see, or maybe they say, oh, my children play with my Facebook, all these things. All these are the things that you have to take out from your, your leads. So the rest, of course, you qualify them,
Mhm.
when they're going to buy all these things, because this will determine when are you going to do the follow-up. So I'll put them in my follow-up schedule. Yeah.
Great.
Just like that.
So all 3 of you says that, but let me ask you, do you stay on that lead if they don't pick up your call, Agnes? Do they stay on that lead? How
yes.
long, if yes, how long do you stay on that lead? You know, some people
So
says,
far,
I don't pick up once, I forget about them.
they
What about
don't
you?
I don't, okay, first time they don't pick up. The same day, I call 3 times. At the same time, I will send a WhatsApp. So when I look at the WhatsApp and they read it, then I know they are there. So I keep calling, but maybe 5 times, 6 times, then I don't call, but I still sending WhatsApps. But if they don't read my WhatsApp, then I have to forgo them.
How long will you take? That means call 3 times, then WhatsApp. How many days would you follow up with them? Before you said
Normally it's 2-3 days. 2-3 days.
2-3 days. If they don't really pick up, that's it. You chuck them aside for a while.
Yeah, I put them aside because if they read my WhatsApp, then I don't delete them. I put them aside. But if they don't read at all, then something is not right. So the next week, then I really put them in red color.
In red, popping
Yes.
red. Okay. Shannon, what about you? Do you stay on that lead if they just don't pick up the call? You know leads are everywhere, but sometimes, wrong name, different name,
I will call them. If they say they didn't pick up the call, then follow up with a message or WhatsApp. But they still didn't answer the call. maybe we'll just let them go for a while. Then if for time, then we'll follow up back again.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, because they are not so serious. So we put more on things, focus on the things that are serious buyer first.
Great. So especially now the pandemic, the motivated leads are very, very less, correct? So we find the motivated and basically just follow up with them. So if they're not motivated or they really, really do not know why they click or their son click or their babies click, so probably just we let go, right? So after a series of, I can hear that after a series of kind of like follow up, not the first call, and then you give up. Maybe second call we give up because sometimes people may tend to have too many WhatsApp. What about you, Ruben? Is it the same as above, or you have a different kind of sharing?
Okay, when I receive any leads or anything, even they WhatsApp, what I'll do is actually first I give a call to them to show that I do things professionally. So I'll do my fact finding, what they're doing and stuff. Sometimes people don't answer the call. Maybe they're working in the office, they just saw something in the ad, they just send you, but they are not in the situation to call. So I'll drop them a text like, I received your inquiry, I tried to call you, didn't reach you. Tell me what time I can call you, a convenient time to call you. Then after that, sometimes they'll see they won't reply. So I give them like the whole day. Sometimes because mostly they will reply me after working hours or during lunch hours, they do reply. So if they don't reply, actually I give 2 or 3 days gap, 2 or 3 days gap. I call them or text them back. I'll do that for maybe for another week, 2 weeks. So after that, I'll give them a 2 weeks break. Like 2 weeks, I don't text or anything. And I sometimes they'll just say, send me all the pictures you have. I don't send anything. Maybe I have 5, I only send 2. I keep others for me. That's like a bullet for me to strike a conversation.
Keep them suspense, yeah.
So like sometimes I'll share something and hold them. So when I send something very nice, they'll be interested. Hey, how about this and stuff? So that's why I get my conversation back. But most of the deals I close actually is thorough follow-up. It's a thorough follow-up because people, they only don't deal with you. They deal with multiple agents. They deal with multiple people. They have a year say and stuff. So it's about how I stay in their mind. That's what for me follow-up is, and I do that. I tried my different ways, tips and tricks. It changes over time. It varies over time. Some people they don't want to answer calls, but they are very fast in replying. Some people don't reply text. They are just one call away. So different people, you just need to judge them. But over time, you'll be good at your judgment. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agreed. In fact, Facebook says 54% they don't mind going into other brands and whatever. So I believe consumer behavior right now is not loyal to you, but loyal to your standard. So whenever you actually put up a kind of like thoroughly follow up and be professional about it, so makes you different, makes you stand out, correct? So great. Ruben, probably just to add in, what time is the perfect time to actually call this follow-up, or it depends?
Actually, I don't think there is a perfect time or anything. You call them, they don't answer, you give a call.
Great.
You don't when we do things, I think it's not good for us to work on their priority. Like let's say my working time is 10 to 5, Monday to Thursday. I give a call during that time. You're not answering or you're busy, you can always tell me, you can call me back. So this what I do is actually work on your own time frame. I wouldn't say that's a perfect time, because when you're busy, they can always tell you like you can call me back or you can drop me a text. Yeah, that's what I do. I call them, make sure I get a reply, and I make sure I put a reminder to call them back. They say call me at 5, I'll make sure I call them. So that's where the reminder, Google reminder, whatever comes in.
Standard or expectation is there.
Yeah.
What about Agnes? What about you? What time you call? Is it almost the same as Ruben?
To me, I am more comfortable in the afternoon, between 2 to 4 o'clock. Yeah, this is my time.
Your feng shui lucky hours, right?
I'm very comfortable during this time, so I think I stick to that. Unless very, very urgent follow-up, then I do maybe in the morning. Yes.
Great. Fantastic. What about Shannon? What about you? Do you have any time, feng shui time? Sorry that
Normally, I will make call after lunch also.
after lunch, huh?
Yeah,
When they're
I
maybe
believe,
in their eyes already. Okay.
yeah, I believe in the morning times, most of the people are busy,
Mhm.
busy with start with the work.
Yeah, great. So basically, afternoon, but I totally agree. It all depends on your timing. You don't work with their timing as well. But if they're working, probably you kind of like adjust and be flexible and adaptable to what they actually are looking for. So we cannot say that within the time and they're working, so we disturb them. Yeah, totally agree with all of you, in fact. So the do you actually, I would like to say that, how do you keep track of all this conversation? There's so many, going on in this conversation, and lists are coming in, lists are, just really, the conversation is coming up. I can't even remember, what I eat this morning or what I ate yesterday. How can you track this conversation, that each person conversation? I believe your database is huge, right? So how do you track this conversation? Is there any checklist or is there any program you schedule in following up with them? Probably Shannon, I would like to probably ask you first.
I got key in the database in the smart plan, so we can follow up clearly when what we have been conversation with the prospect before, then what they want with, I will key in the more important info, then when we will do the follow-up. Besides that, I also categorize the prospect into 3 categories with A, B, C. A is more important and they need the house urgently, maybe in around the, once they see the house is suitable to them, they will make the booking immediately. So I will put this prospect in the category in A, then B and C. B, for A, I will follow up maybe more closely once in a week. Then for B, maybe 2 weeks in one time. For C, maybe 2 months or 3 months later, or when I got time, I'm free, then look back and follow up. So
Wow.
with this kind of prospect categorization, I will more clear on what I want to follow up and in what way.
Great. You're talking about smart plan. So probably inside here, most of them here or some of them do not know what is smart plan. What do you mean by smart plan? Maybe you can tell more about smart plan.
Smart plan is actually in our KW's command system.
Fantastic.
So it's they have the keywords we can type in. So once we key the keyword, it will come out the data we key in before, so we can chase back more easily.
Great. So it sounds like that you already key in all into a context, and then from there you tag everything, and then it's easy for you to follow and keep track. Even though I heard that you've got about how many thousand database? 6,000, right? I heard from that day. Yeah, you told me you got so many database. So that's how you actually steadily and follow up with them, which give you a fantastic result, right? So you also categorize. What about you, Agnes? Do you do differently, or how do you keep track of the conversation? Do you do differently or almost the same?
Almost the same. At this moment, most of my contact is in my Excel sheet, my own Excel. So I'm in the process of transferring them into KW command. So my tracking is based on these two Excel, the KW and my Excel sheet. So what I'm going to do is actually how I track them from my Excel sheet is I color code them. I'm using color, yeah. For example, green. Green is those serious buyer that maybe going to buy this month or next month. So I put them in green color. Then this one I put maybe on weekly. I follow up on weekly basis. And the second one is like I put light green. This one maybe buying in the next No, light green is considering. So considering, you still got a chance. I still got a chance. So I follow up this one within two weeks, like that, 2 weeks. And then the last one is the red color, which is normally they got secret problem, not suitable, no at this moment. So this one I put them on maybe quarterly. So for those in the KW command, then it's easier because I just you use the smart plan. I'm using the what is that? I think weekly, bi-weekly, and this one quarterly plan. So it's easier. So because when you put your task, so you open your KW command every day, then they remind you which one to follow up.
Great. I can see both of you has got this similarity that you are categorizing into few state categorized, important, very important VIP, and kind of like important, and the other one is just to follow up. It reminds me when I first joined in 13 years ago, where I used paper and pen, like Gary says, in shoebox, with a card. So I still remember how I use it is in the paper and pen, and I write down and I color code it in a highlighter. It still remind me. And then it comes Excel. It comes with Excel where you can sort it with the color code. And now with the smart plan, which is actually the technology is really, really helping us a lot as we age as we go, and I find it amazing. Yeah. What about Ruben? Do you do Excel or do you do, yeah?
Yeah. So I think I started off with Excel. I have few database in Excel. So currently I'm in the transition of moving all the database into command. So command is I would say like a very great thing I've ever encountered. So additional to that, what I do, like I also categorize them, but I do because I use command for more of nurturing client, because I know it will take some time. I use command for nurturing them. But for fast client, normally what I do is actually I write it down, I put a sticky notes, or I also use WhatsApp business. So it allows me to create labels. So I create labels like let's say this condo A, condo B, condo C, and also like label them. Is it urgent? When they're expecting to do things. So like it allows me like not to go to my laptop. Sometimes I'll be away from my laptop and stuff. So this WhatsApp business and all these labels functions allow me to like to do things on the go. So like let's say I'm waiting for some client 10 minutes, there are 10 minutes, I just go through my WhatsApp conversation, like I go to the labels, I see like who's the guy I never keep in touch, like who's urgent looking, what I can do, what can plan for them. So this combines the three things, like which is WhatsApp business with labels, then followed by Excel, which I'm moving to command, and yeah, command itself is a great thing as well.
Wow, I can see that you are having that lead generation funnel where when you come, the leads is all on the context where it's urgent. You actually put it into a different kind of urgent label, so that you at the go also you can actually call them immediately. And where command is more on nurturing on a long-term basis, where they said they wanted to buy within 3 months, or they wanted to look for something, within, in 6 months time or 1 year time, while you're actually nurturing your follow-up. That's fantastic. Good. You all have categorized it in your own context because it depends on your own database, correct? Great, fantastic. So I just want you to ask the next question. Have you ever abandoned any follow-up leads? Okay. Abandon means that, for example, you follow up already, you have showed them and the kind of thing they said, okay, I will buy. Then after that, they don't buy, they continue, that kind of like lead that you're following up. Do you think we should hold and follow up until the end? Since people always say no lead is a bad lead, okay? Is there a period you say, okay, enough is enough? This is not the one that is they did not answer your call, but these are the people that answer your call and tell you what they wanted. Maybe we start with probably Shannon.
Some weeks, some I have abandoned and didn't follow up. Sometimes it's through the conversation with the prospect, we can feel that that person is just look see, not a serious buyer. Yeah. Then I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong lah. For me, I won't follow up closely. Yeah, because maybe we got our time is constrained, so more focus on more important thing to us lah. More important, look for the motivated buyer is more important.
Yeah, great. Sounds like time is very precious for you, and you straight to the point. And they look see, chuck them out, right? But do you chuck entirely them out, or they're still in your smart plan?
Some of them I will key in, yeah, still in my smart pen. Maybe we'll follow up later when I'm free.
Yeah, because some people, I found that when I do my sales right last time, some people find that they very paiseh to actually call back you and say that I don't want to buy because I'm in the financial difficulties, correct? So at times when you call them 6 months later, they will still say that, okay, probably I would like to tell you some more, you know, that kind of situation, correct? So you still put it until probably there is a time where you may probably put into category D, right? Which is actually another category. Great. What about Agnes? What about you?
For me, I never abandon any of my leads, any of my contacts, because I need all these contacts for because I'm in project. I need these contacts for my future projects, or even my new listings in the future. Yeah, because I do a lot of blasting, so I need all these contacts. Unless when I call that customer, then the customer said, Agnes, I don't like you. You are a nuisance to me.
Wow.
You delete my name, then I delete. And some of them maybe already passed away. No?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, then I delete them from my contact. Otherwise, I will never delete them from my contact.
Wow. Imagine now they already passed away and you call that fella and the fella answer you.
Yeah.
My God.
Because I have, I think, two. I have received, I do not know. I think somebody got the phone, and I think they go and tell all these people in the phone that this one already passed away. So I just delete.
Yeah. That's a right way to do lah. Unless the phone is passed to the wife or something like that. But normally no lah, right?
Yeah, but
great.
I don't abandon. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're doing projects. It sounds like you are actually keeping it because projects are in a way that there's no bad lead, right? Because projects can be investment, can be anything. So if you've got the next project, so it is actually useful for the next project compared to sub-sale where you have a GTA area where you target and it's entirely different. Great. What about Rueben? What about you? No lead is a bad lead.
Okay, it's a very interesting question, and I have to answer in front of my coach and leaders. So it's going to be a hard one. Yeah, definitely I've abandoned many leads, because like when I follow up with them, like sometimes I get the lead, sometimes I overlook the lead. So I follow up with them after 3 days or even 4 days. Sometimes they say I've finalized a unit, which is shocking to me because it's a very fast moving market. My target market is a very niche where they're like the property price range is somewhere around 300,000 to 400,000. And also first time house buyer who are very excited. They see the house, they make the booking, and some things are very fast in this market. So I've abandoned many, but when they tell me that I finalized my unit and stuff, I say congrats. I say if you need any help or anything, just let me know. I stay around the area. I tell them what can be done and stuff. So and eventually some of these because they know they are owner now over there, so I want to be close with them. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the time they want to sell the house. So I tell them the thing, like, if you need anything, you let me know. And I create a genuine thing as well. I show them what is around. And I treat them as a friend. So that's why I go treat them as a friend. And some people, like, they just do surveys. When some people who do survey, like, think I really abandon them because, like, they are literally wasting my time. They'll say, like, I'll get back to you after 6 months, 7 months. Like, there are some clients like that. They just do window shopping. But if the people who are serious, they bought, I make friends. If no means, I just drop the leads because it's a very fast moving market lah. That's what I realized in this market.
What I hear is that you actually treat the lead, that the motivated leads, or tend, how do I say, probably the qualified lead, you put it as a friend, and you actually kind of like make them comfortable with you, and then from there you actually kind of like follow up with them, and you actually hold it and would not abandon it unless it's really it's a kind of like just survey and you kind of like know. But how do you actually know that they are actually doing just survey? What is the indication that they pass to you that you know that they are doing this survey and they are not interested in buying?
Okay, first thing was it's very simple thing. I'll call them for viewing. Because some of the owners are close, I can get the keys. I call them viewing. If they keep on doing excuses for 3 or 4 weeks, I know they are not serious. Also, like these are the first thing I do. First is like I ask some things because in this market, loan rejection also is an issue. So if you are serious, you want your goal loan go through and stuff, you'll be happy to share things with me. I know payslip can be a personal information, but if you're serious, normally all my clients they'll share me their payslip and stuff. So I'll check with the banker that see the price can go through. Will I have any problem and stuff? So like these are some things I do to qualify them, like get their payslip or get their call them for viewing. These are two things I generally do. And when I know this thing, then I'll drop them if they're not serious.
So in a way that, well, somebody said you're very smart, okay? So in such a way that you actually kind of qualify them. If they don't view, there's something wrong with them, right? After so many attempts to actually get them view, and there's so many things. But from our conversation, I can see that you are, even buyers can be sellers, correct? Sellers can be buyers, correct? So that lead is either way round. So you're actually following up in order that if they buy, you can be a seller in 3 years or 4 years time. That's why you are actually doing that following up with that. Probably they'll become a seller leads later, correct? Great. What about Agnes? Oh, yeah, I've already asked you. I forgot about that. Yeah, you said already you never abandon the list, right? So my next question is that let's talk about mistakes. I know a lot of people doesn't like to talk about mistakes. Yeah. So I think in real estate, we all make mistakes. I make many mistakes and many failures. That makes me different. That makes me learn things. Okay, let's talk about mistakes. What mistakes that have you done that you realize that didn't really work in your follow-up? And at least the audience can learn, and in advance to avoid this mistake, don't go into that pit and then drop there and then climb up back. So probably I start with Agnes. What is your mistake that you have done?
I think talking too much. So when communicating with prospect, I think we have to remember the golden rule of communication. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. If we start to tell all these grandmother stories, it will switch most of these people, switch off most of these people. So listen to what the prospect has to say, engage them in a very serious dialogue right from the outset, because these people, they are more likely to, to do business with people they feel respected and understand them. So listen more, talk less.
Listen more and talk less. Wow, fantastic.
One of the good advice.
Get this is the mistake. So currently you actually talk less. No more grandma story.
No more.
Your grandma story is basically. Can you give an example that this, what is the grandma story about?
I think we're talking about ourselves, our family, instead of talking about the buyer. Let them talk. Let them talk about their family. You listen instead of we talking about our family. You know, talking about all this like talking about, oh, I attended a funeral or whatever. All these things, which is no good. So I think we have to avoid all these things.
Great, great. That means
straight to the point. Straight to the
straight,
point.
straight to the point. But ask
Oh,
more of them
Yes.
than talk more of you.
More of them, not me. Yeah.
Correct. So the fourth actually conversation is very important. Fourth means F for family, O for occupation, and R is recreation, and D is their dream. So talk more about that, correct? So Shannon, what about you? What kind of mistake that you have made that you realize it?
My experience is I follow a person who is not a decision maker. Okay, the person I follow up is a PA to a boss, a big boss lah. So the person is very aggressive looking for houses for the boss for investment. So he keep on asking and take a video also, then see this house, after see this house and see the other house. But it's very aggressive person looking for the house. But at the end, it's a wasting time to follow up because at the end he say, boss is not interested in this area lah. So I think it's a mistake for me to follow up a person who are not a decision maker. Yeah.
Wow. What happened if it's individual? How do you deal with individual? How do you know he's a decision maker or she's a decision maker for individual? You're talking about more on corporate, correct? For example, if you're doing kind of like big kind of bosses on the top, they have got PA, correct? Let's say, what about, just to add on to it, what about individual? The individual, probably the decision maker is the wife. The person who you talk to is a husband. So how do you look at that?
Normally at the end, the decision maker still the wife. From my experience, from what my observation. Yeah.
Oh. Any
although the husband,
bantah?
although the husband is the person who pay, but they still listen to the wife at the end.
I see. The husband is the finance minister and the wife is the home minister. Okay, so
Yeah.
they decides the home. Great, fantastic. So you have made a mistake. So currently, have you kind of like don't deal with any PAs, or you actually deal with the PAs with a more qualified question?
Yeah, this one I think still have to learn. Yeah, it's not easy. Sometimes we didn't know whether the PA is can deal directly with the boss. We still have to, I think we try to make chance to meet the boss will be better because they are the decision maker.
Fantastic. So make appointment with the boss instead of PA, and the personal assistant or the secretary of the boss. Then it will be kind of like you may able to qualify them whether what the boss want and then what the boss needs instead of the PA needs and wants. Correct? Great. How about Ruben? Mistakes?
I think the mistake I've done actually, I didn't ask the right questions when I made the questions to do fact finding. So I still working on the questions. So that's why I come to questions about the payslip or ask like how many units have you view in this time. If they view like 10 units in 3 weeks time, I know they are serious. They view like 6 units in 6 months. I know they are selective. They like final touches. So I still working on the questions. So what I did mistakes actually not asking the proper question in terms of find more facts about them. Yeah, these are the mistake. I think crucial mistake I always do.
Right. Ask the qualifying question, which leads them into a decision making. They always say that sometimes certain question is a very direct to them. For example, if they wanted to buy something directly, you actually very direct to them. But sometimes you're not sure what you wanted to. They wanted, probably you put it as a more fair question. That means you actually offer to interest them for the response. So they actually kind of like different question that you need to steer them out. Yeah. So so it's like trigger them in the immediate response to let them know what they actually wanted. Correct. So great. So now you're actually asking more better question right now, or you are, so you're getting more response better.
Yes, yes. Make sure I ask a better question. I mean, I try to follow other sales gurus and stuff. So what they do, what questions they
Somebody
ask.
says psychological game. No lah, not psychology. Emotion game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychology game is like crazy, but more on the emotion and playing with them with the emotion. Like John always says, you know, why are you buying? Why are you selling? And you know, how soon you want to buy, how soon you want to sell, and why, what is stopping you from selling and buying right now? This kind of emotion to stir up their emotions to see are they motivated or not, right? Correct. Those are the questions that we should put forward to this. So I've got this last, you know, last question that kind of like everyone always asks one. What is your one piece of advice to people that trying to make sure they want to tackle this follow-up effectively? So what is your one piece before we actually, I've got 2 minutes to an to 10 o'clock. So I leave the 15 minutes for question and answer. So one piece of advice, maybe from Ruben.
Okay. One piece of advice I would say is actually like embrace new technologies, like like embrace disruptions. So but we are like privileged to be part of Keller William or Refill, which like we are the pioneer of this technology. So now I would say like embrace the new technology, so eventually it would help us to develop some disruptive ideas when it come to follow up or it come to lead gen. So like embrace the thing, so make sure you use that, and if you don't know you ask people. Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, embrace disruption, right? And embrace whatever the new technology that's coming in. Don't be scared of them, but just do it and try it and fail it and try it and fail it and try it. Correct? Great,
Yeah.
great advice. What about Agnes? What is your one piece of advice to people who are doing follow-up right now after
Okay,
getting leads? Yeah.
they must have, you must have a proper tracking system. Example, simple Excel will do. So with this, then you can do your tracking. But with the KW, the command that we have now, I think you should use the smart plan. Yeah, that one is fantastic. It's very good for tracking your conversation with your
Great, great.
clients. Yeah.
It sounds like that you need to have a plan in order to actually build that kind of right road to your goal. Because if you do not have a plan, there may be too many leads coming in, but you are unable to handle, and you do not know what to follow first and what to not to follow first, because there's a plan but no plan, you know, in a way. So when you have whether you're using Excel or whether you're using command, of course command in such a way that is easier right now, but again, is that doesn't matter how you use it, is the plan that you put forward into, so that you track every conversation to convert into appointments and also convert into your sales later on, right? Am I correct, Agnes?
Yes, yes, yes,
Great.
yes.
What about you, Shannon?
Do the follow-up sincerely and respectfully, and don't let the prospect feel uncomfortable. Then if let's say the prospect can be your client in the future, they can become your referral also.
Right, right. May I ask, how many % of referral do you get from your lead, from your clients right now? Do you get a lot of referral?
Quite a lot.
How many percentage? 80, 70, 80?
70.
Wow, fantastic. You got 70 from referral, and you don't really need to go and search for the leads. The leads actually come into you. You only have 30% that you want to do lead generation from other sources. So 70 is from your referral. It's fantastic follow-up. Okay, I can see that you are you are touching on, it sounds like you're touching on genuinity and honest with your clients, and people can sense it if you're bullshitting, correct? People can sense it, yeah. So you are actually from your heart and really want to help them to actually buy a home, and genuinely help the people to sell their home because they really need the money, right? Correct? So good, fantastically. Thank you so much, the panelists today, and thank you for your awesome sharing. Is there any question? I'm opening to the floor. Is there? I can't see the chat box, so sorry. Regional, please help me to say out the question. Is there any question you'd like to ask the three wonderful panelists here? Regional, any question?
There's a question
Yeah,
from
there's a question.
Michelle. Can Shannon and Agnes share what projects are they currently doing?
Okay, for me, actually, I'm doing this Surya Industrial Park. It's a mixed development project in Sepang near KLIA there, and some of the same developer. I'm also doing their residential project, two-story link house. Yes, it's a Surya Warisan they call it.
Okay, great. Surya, you're also doing some other projects as well, right?
But I'm more focused into this. I'm focused on these two projects now.
Great. Any other questions? I saw one question to Shannon, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
We have one question from James Chen as well. Have you guys dealt with any divorce cases before where the husband and wife are not talking to each other?
You have experience. What is the question again?
Have you dealt with the divorce cases before, right?
I deal with divorce cases before, but it was eventually sold. The unit, this one is under sub-sale. This one I play a very important part here because I think the other side of the lawyer is a little bit not so not so good, but in the end I manage because the husband is good. The PA given is their divorce, the house to be given to the wife, but the problem is when they have the divorce certificate, it was not stated that this house is given to the wife. So they have to go to the court again, and I think to do the PA. And in the end, then the transaction, okay, can the property transfer.
Great.
Yeah.
What about Shannon? Do you have a case like that?
No, I don't experience before.
Yeah. I do experience once before that these couple don't talk to each other. So when you know, that's why the in-depth question is very important when you talk to them. It's not prying on their personal life. It's asking why they want to sell. When they ask why they want to sell, you basically know what is going on in their life. Probably it's a divorce, or probably they're in the intention of divorce, or probably they have a separation or whatever it is. So when you know, you kind of like get in depth with them, and you make sure that there is no like one agent represent the wife and one represent the husband, because that is what's happening to me. Yeah, the exclusive given to the husband, the exclusive given to the wife. So there is something that you need to deal with, to talk to them, that if possible, let me talk to the wife and let me talk to the husband. Both sides you talk to. Okay, you don't mind, you don't need to talk to each other. Let me deal. You are professional, let me deal with both of you and come to a price where both of you agree. Okay, because at the end of the day, if the name of the property is under two names, right? It's under one name is okay. If it's under two names, right, then you need them to sign for the listing and also for the closing as well. So you don't want later on the husband want to sell this price, the wife want to sell this price. So talk to them separately, let you handle professionally in a way that you actually come to a consensus of price, and when the leads comes in, right, you'll be able to talk to both of them. And my advice is be that professional to deal with that. Of course, we don't want to say much about the divorce and gossip about the other person and gossip about this person. So we're very professional, and we are very into what they wanted, because divorce case, they want fast. And also, I would like to advise, as one thing, if during signing SPA, your payment will be towards the lawyers, okay? Because the banker will need to pay to the lawyer, and the lawyer will split. Sometimes, if there is a not 50%, the husband will claim that I want more, and the wife will say, I want more. So at the end of the day, the lawyer will have an agreement that they need to split either 50-50 or whatever is agreed upon by the lawyer with them. Okay, so that is what I have experienced lah. Any other question?
Following up from your your answer just now, Lily, Harjinder asked, so when the husband and wife sign, do they actually sign on one document itself?
Yes,
that means
correct.
Both sign on the same ATP lah.
Because you only have one property, unless they have few properties, then different name. Yes, one.
One lah. Okay, both sign on the same one.
Yes.
Somebody asked, I think this one refers to what Agnes mentioned just now, PA from court. What is PA in this context? PA is power of attorney.
A power of attorney.
Power of attorney.
Because the divorce, the divorce certificate, it was not mentioned that property during I think the divorce, like they didn't mention that the property is to be given to the wife. But they mentioned that the husband said they give that property to the wife. So they have to ask the lawyer again to prepare the power of attorney, and then the husband sign, and then it's easier to do. So only the wife can sign the SPA. So it was done quite smoothly. Actually, the form, the authorization is actually signed by the wife only. I was very new then, so I'm not so good. So I just because she called me, then I asked her to sign. And then I didn't ask much questions, and then but luckily the ex-husband is so good.
Yeah, power of attorney is very important if the decision is given to one person. Yes, correct. Or else there's an argument. Yeah.
Okay. Question by LS to Shannon. Shannon's referrals are normally from clients who bought and sold properties from you before. Is that right when you're talking about your own referrals, Shannon?
Some others from friends also lah.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then Ellen asked, where's his question already? Sorry. So far the follow-up is for buyers. Is the follow-up normally when you're called to follow up, right? Is it normally to buyers, or is it also to sellers?
Anybody wants to answer?
I think like me, mostly because I'm doing projects, so mostly on buyers. But you are sub-sell, then I think you have to call both. Yeah, you have to maintain relationship with your seller and also your buyer. Yeah, I don't, Shannon.
So follow up, both sides lah.
Both sides.
Buyer and the owner side also.
Both sides.
So if let's say you follow up on sellers, like what kind of questions do you ask them?
The three questions. Why they want to sell?
Also.
So the time frame when they hope the property will be sold off lah. The time frame, so we can see whether the seller is a motivated seller or not.
After they have asked you, answered, like you already know why they want to sell, you already know when they need to sell, then let's say you need to follow up with them, what do you ask again?
Sometimes the follow-up is either in terms of pricing, they have any adjustment or not, or sometimes it's follow-up, how's the market at the moment.
Correct.
There's some, especially recently the CMCO, the market is a bit slow, then the seller also notice about it. So we follow up this kind of thing also. The market situation.
Yeah, correct.
Shannon, how do you site visit during CMCO? How do you site visit when you actually talk to the buyer, seller, and seller wanted to buy? I'm sure do you site visit?
Site visit, then just go.
Just go.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, I practice SOP. I have my own my sanitizer and my gun. So I have to
Your
show
gun, okay.
to seller
okay,
my
okay.
appointment with the SOP, So make sure I to inform them self distancing, all these things. I make sure I do that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we follow the SOP also.
Yeah, we follow
wear the
SOP.
mask. After
yes.
you finish
have my
booking,
gun.
then wash with the sanitizer, then go back home, take a bath. I think safety is more important.
But is the question that just now, Yuan, are you asking that question or?
Which question, Lily?
Just now, you asked that question. Is it answered?
Yeah. Answered
Great.
already. Regarding the follow-up.
Great.
Yeah.
Is there any question that you would like to ask since these three wonderful panelists is here?
So far, no more questions. Yeah, no more questions in the chat box.
Yeah, I've got this. I saw this. Chan said, husband and wife don't trust each other, so each engage their own agent. And when wife gets a serious offer, the husband just reject until he get the amount he wanted, and vice versa. Be a professional real estate, professional real estate consultant. So we are not here to benefit from whatever each other. We are here to help each other. So when we try to talk to the husband in a way that we should be more on, explaining to him, it's not about different agent. Then when you have different agent, probably you are kind of like maybe different opinion, different things, then it will be at the end of the day, you will sell your property longer. But if you're coming in the context of professional, right, people will kind of understand you are actually helping them, and you have a standard where you are not siding each other. You are actually bringing all the buyers in, including whoever from the co-agency, because you are doing your professional presentation to them that we can actually put here, just like Naki presentation, wonderful presentation. If you're free, you go into Naki presentation. It's really, really good. How he present to the owner, how he actually talk to the owner in such a way that, what can I do for you? And in order to get your wants and your needs in order. So that is very wonderful. I would say that be a professional, and people will choose you. Yeah. So is there any, who's power root? Okay. So, well, any question? I think we end already. If no question, I'll pass back to regional, and regional take over. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll see you. Yeah, all of you are from Market Center Street. I'll see you most of the time. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, but everyone stay back so that regional is giving you a kind of snippet what's happening next week. Okay, panelists, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, there are some quick announcements from regional side as well. So for tomorrow morning, there will be a training led by Josh.
Friday morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
You can find the sign up link in the chat box posted by Charles. Next, please. Next. So this is our new virtual training calendar, which is starting tomorrow all the way until next Friday. There will be command workshops by our very own Marcus and Xiumin as well. And then on Monday, we have mastering behavior led by Jonathan. Tuesday, there will be a command campaigns workshop where you all can learn on how to set up your own Facebook business page. And from then onwards, you can start running your own ads via command as well. So we will have Lily again next Wednesday, where she will be sharing on how you can get leads for less by using command. And on Thursday, there will be another workshop guiding you on how to design how to design for your listings and your ads. And next Friday, we will have another session by Josh Tan sharing about the 4 conversations you can have with your coach. Next, please. For those who are still interested in ordering our books, you can place your orders by dropping us a message at hello@redfield.com. But if you are our existing brand, do email your respective MCS instead to order directly. Next, please.
Okay, so if you had followed our workplace, we actually said that something's going to happen on the 28th of October. We are very, very glad to say that we have come up with some new t-shirts and even cloth mask, reusable cloth mask for everyone. So we're going to start a pre-order now, and the t-shirts and designs of these new items will be out on our workplace and Facebook. So t-shirts are 30 ringgit for non-collar and 40 ringgit for collared, and cloth masks are 20 ringgit. So this is actually the price range. There's also going to be bundle promotions, meaning that if you buy, in a bundle, you buy a few this and that, then you actually get a very much better price lah, in that sense. There are discounts up to 33%, and then so it's going to be via Google Form. So if you see the chat box, there's a Google Form link, where you can actually place your order and make a payment to us, and then you will be able to pre-order this. It's only from today until the 3rd of November, which is next week, okay? Because after that, we're going to go back to normal price and all. So this is just a rollout pre-order sale. So please, if you are looking for new t-shirts, new designs, do purchase from us. Okay.
Lynn, what about the size?
There's SML, XL. It's very similar to the existing size that of the t-shirts that we have.
Probably you can have the measurement, will be great, so that they will know what kind of measurement. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that, Lily. Okay, now CMCO, so office is actually closed. So if you were to pre-order, I think it will come in about 1 to 2 weeks time. If you pre-order, collection date and location to be confirmed. Probably once a week or something, we may say, okay, you can collect between this to this time at your office or something like that. We will work it out, because CMCO, things are pretty tight. Suddenly government want to, clamp down again and all those stuff. So we will announce nearer the collection date. But of course, there's a delivery option, but there's a 7 ringgit charge lah. This is to West Malaysia only, which is us anyway. So yes, we will give you some basic measurements, and then if not, it's actually the exact same size as whatever t-shirts that you're having now, because we took it from the same supplier. Okay, so look out for our workplace and Facebook page, because the detailed designs in bigger, in bigger pictures will be there. Then you can actually see it bigger lah, and then cloth masks are 20 ringgit. Cloth mask is actually something good that you may want to give your clients if you're actually doing some viewing or whatever. Okay, this is something for you. It's 20 ringgit. So it has a KW Malaysia logo, and it's quite standard lah, the black and the logo. Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you for tuning in. I think that's all for this session. We will see you on Friday if not. And then, have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.